Good morning, everyone. And welcome to the Alumni Awards and Honor Class Reunion for celebrating 50 years of graduating from Upper Iowa University. My name is Debbie Scholle, and this is my husband, Keith Scholle. And it's our pleasure to be up here today with many alumni and family and friends. And I'd also like to introduce some of the board members that are here. I believe Scott Leben, if you would stand up when I call your name. Scott Leben, you're a graduate of 1964. Peter Clemens. Peter. Richard Andres. Is Richard here? Let's see, Steve Harms. Would you please stand, Steve? I think that's it. Very good. Thank you, our board members. Pardon?
There were a couple of.
Did I miss some? Oh, you were good. No? Thank you. Kathy, President Kathy Franken, you were next. You were next. Sorry about that. I went to Steve to find out who's here and who wasn't here. So I'll blame it on Steve.
One job.
Well, Upper Iowa has certainly changed since Keith and I have been on the campus. Keith was here in '68 and I came in 1970. And there were 3 dorms at the time. There was Maltby, that's for sale now, and the boys were housed there. And then there was Graff Hall, which is no longer here. Yay, Graff, right? Many of you were in Graff. And that is no longer, but we did have a brick. I think we did buy a brick of Graff. I don't know where it is now, but we did have a brick. And then there was Garvey Hall. And Garvey Hall is still here today, and I believe it's housing some students. But the girls were on one side, and the boys were on the other side in Garvey. And I think it was my senior year when we were finally able to have the boys come over to our side. Certain hours of the day, they were able to come in because they suck or something. Anyway, along with the three dorms or whatever, there were 3 bars. We had Marie's, and we had Stinky Mullins, and we had the B3s. And I believe beers were like 15 cents for 8 ounces. Wasn't that about right? I think it went up to a quarter by the time I graduated. Remember, we didn't have any cell phones. We didn't have any computers. We didn't have any iPads. We had none of that stuff. We couldn't text. So when we lived in the dorm, there was a payphone in the hall, and there was a black phone, I believe. And if we had incoming calls, we used the black phone. But anyway, do you guys remember being buzzed?
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with alcohol. For some of you that don't know, we had little buzzers in our room, and I think Graff had the same thing, but I was in Garvey. So, and when you were buzzed or whatever, you'd have to look at the buzzer. Was it bed 1 or bed 2? And then you'd have to go downstairs and see who was calling you, because that was the only way. And I'd have to, and Keith remembers, I could tell you were coming because he'd hear my slippers just going across the floor. But anyway, and so we had the buzzers, and we had to go downstairs, and there was a desk downstairs, and if we had a telephone call, they buzzed us to let us know, and we had so much privacy because we got to speak on the phone in the hall anytime. So there was total privacy. So we've come a long way with technology. Hold on here, sorry guys. If I don't have my notes, I don't know what I'm going to say here. Many of you know and remember my friend Pam Wolf. Pam Wolf and I went to high school together, and we attended Upper Iowa together. Except back when we went to school here, it was Upper Iowa College. So now it's the university or whatever. And the representative came to our high school and shared with us about this wonderful small school in the northeast corner of Iowa in the small little town of Fayette. And so it was like, oh, this sounds good. Small classes, small enrollment. This is something 5 hours from home. This is just perfect. This is just something we really wanted. So Pam went into nursing, I went into education, and we both joined the sorority, Sigma Nu Sigma. We had so much fun. We have lifetime friends. But some of the things I remember, I was sitting there thinking, what stories can I tell that are decent? You know, and one of them was, remember the time I had the sleepover? A lot of times we went out and we, were out in the woods or fields or whatever, and we were just drinking tea and coffee and that kind of thing. Anyway, the big Sigmas were there. We had a bonfire and we were staying the night. And I didn't have a sleeping bag. And Keith was just so happy you're dating. You have a sleeping bag. And so I said, oh, let me use your sleeping bag. Well, the next morning I woke up and I had all these holes from the fire. All these black holes. It didn't burn up, for heaven's sakes. Must have been way too close to that fire. So I came home and I said, oh, thanks, man. Here's your sleeping bag. with all these holes in it. Another fun thing I was thinking about, Mary Ann, you're going to love this. Upper Iowa always had different things going on. We had also the winter festival or carnival or whatever it's called, remember that? And some of the foxes and all the different groups, SOB and Bush, and everybody would make those beautiful snow sculptures, right? And there was also the winter, the Snow King and Snow Queen. Well, my dear husband was up for Snow King. With Linda Leach. Many of you remember Linda Leach. Anyway, the two of them. Remember Nobby? Remember Nobby used to take all those great pictures on campus, and so Keith and Linda looked so professional in the picture. They looked really good. Oh, Mary Ann, hold on. So remember one of those contests they had, Mary Ann? I was in it too. Miss Drumsticks. Oh, my parents were so proud. I sent this girl to school, and she's up for Miss Drumsticks? What is this? Well, anyway, Mary Ann won. She won for having the best drumsticks. That's leg size for legs. And you know what, I have to be honest, I was up to it. I can't figure out why I have the worst legs ever. Oh, goodness. So anyway, okay, all right. Well, Keith asked me out in the spring of my freshman year in April, I remember. And he asked me to a Fox Kager. Gave me like 2 hours notice on a Sunday afternoon. They're having Fox Kagers. Anyway, so he was a member of the group The Foxes. Many of you have heard of The Foxes, and if you haven't, they were really an academic, social fraternity. Right? Nice guys to have fun with. Okay? They were loved by many, and not so loved by many. Just all depends. But today they're loved. Today they're loved for other reasons. But anyway. Our Upper Iowa family, our Upper Iowa family and its various groups have left all of us with great memories and lifelong friends that Upper Iowa has given us. Keith and I were college sweethearts. We graduated in '74. I graduated in June. He graduated in December, and we were married in December also. So it's been 50 years since we graduated and 50 years since we've been married. I say that's a heck of a long time with the same person. Upper Iowa's always been a special, special place in our hearts, and we love giving back whenever we can. Upper Iowa gave us great education, great professors that really cared. We love coming back to homecoming and seeing families and faces and meeting new friends. We are proud peacocks. This school has given us a foundation for how we live our lives today. But most importantly, it's the people that make Upper Iowa the school it is today. It's been great sharing a few things with you, and I could go on with our stories, but just cut it short here, but thank you for having us.
Good morning, thanks for being here. Before I start, if you don't know, Deb and I are live in Florida, and talked about Miami. We're in Port Charlotte area, and we've been there for 13 years. And the hurricane that just came through, we came out unscathed, and partially because we had just sold our home, but for 80 years there was never a hurricane in our area. We've lived through 4 of them. And I want to thank everyone for their outreach and concerns and volunteering to come and help us in the situation. We really got hit hard with Ian, and we had a couple $100,000 worth of damage to our home. But Deb and I are very, very fortunate. We have a second home up in northern Wisconsin that's been in Deb's family for 100 years, so we had a place to go. And we were up there and we saw the hurricanes on TV, and in some cases we didn't get down there. But I want everybody to be aware that it's an absolute disaster down there. There are people that have had homes passed down for years and years, and they have nothing. I just called some friends down there, and they people are sleeping on mattresses on top of tables because there's still water in their homes, and they don't have insurance and whatever. But I'm not going to plug anything at this point. But if you do want to contribute something, there's a group called Good Samaritans, which is part of Billy Graham, and all their money goes towards helping people there. They were there for Ian, for us. They basically put a tarp over the house and did some other things in repairs, but there's some people out there that are really hurting right now, so whatever you can do to help them, especially with thoughts and prayers, we appreciate it. So on a lighter note, let's get back to Upper Iowa and how we met here. As Deb alluded to, I came here in '68, and I was on the 6-year plan because I paid for all my own college. So I'd work a semester, come back a semester, but even when I was working, I came back from Chicago here on the weekends because I couldn't stand being without this place. I absolutely loved Upper Iowa and everything about it. And one time I came back, and it was in the fall, and I'm in the union with a couple of my friends, and Deb walks through the door. And I go, who is that? And they said, well, her name is Debby Gint. And I said, oh, wow, I want to marry that girl. That's the honest truth. And they said, well, good luck with that, because she's going out with one of the Chicago Bears, and everybody and their brother wants to go out and date Debby Gint. And so later on, I found out it was not that she was dating one of the Chicago Bears, but she was actually the babysitter for Jack and Cannon, who was the Bears quarterback. So I eventually went back to school, met her, and 49 years, here we are. The best 9 years of my life. No, I'm actually, I'm kidding. She's a gift from the man upstairs. She's been an inspiration to my life. She brings a smile to everybody's face, and her silly laughs and everything she does, but just a wonderful part of my life. We have 3 daughters and 11 grandchildren, and the rest is history. And the one thing with all the craziness that's going on in the world right now, the one thing that really brings a lot of peace to my life is coming here to Upper Iowa. We're coming down a hill, and I look down there, and this woman.
And the best part of Upper Iowa was meeting him.